For millennia, the stories of the Bible have captivated and challenged us. Passed down through generations, they offer timeless wisdom and profound lessons for life. But what if I told you that beneath the surface of these familiar tales lie hidden depths, layers of meaning waiting to be unearthed? In this journey of discovery, we will delve into the heart of 5 well-known Bible stories, shining a light on their concealed significance. Prepare to have your perspective shifted, your understanding deepened, as we uncover the extraordinary secrets embedded within these ancient texts. Join me as we embark on an exploration of 5 hidden meanings in common Bible stories that will blow your mind. Picture the scene. A woman caught in adultery, surrounded by a baying mob demanding her stoning. The air crackles with tension, the fate of the accused hanging precariously in the balance. It is into this cauldron of judgment that Jesus steps, his presence as cool and calming as the Sea of Galilee on a still morning. The scribes and Pharisees, self-appointed guardians of the law, challenge him, eager to trap him in his words. But Jesus, with a wisdom that confounds the ages, bends down and begins to write on the ground. What is he writing? The scriptures remain tantalizingly silent, leaving us to ponder the mystery of his actions. Some scholars believe he was writing the very sins of the accusers, exposing their hypocrisy for all to see. Others suggest he was simply gathering his thoughts, creating a space of calm amidst the storm. But what if the act of writing itself holds the key to understanding this profound encounter? You see, in drawing in the sand, Jesus creates a tangible representation of the law, a physical manifestation of the boundaries that define their society. And yet, sand is ephemeral, easily erased by the wind or washed away by the tide. Could this be a subtle hint that the law, while important, should not be wielded as a weapon of condemnation, but rather as a guide for righteous living? By refusing to condemn the woman, Jesus transcends the rigid interpretations of the law, offering instead a path of compassion and forgiveness. He reminds us that we are all flawed, all capable of stumbling, and that true justice is not about punishment but about restoration. The image of Jesus drawing in the sand serves as a powerful reminder that judgment should always be tempered with mercy, that understanding and empathy are the cornerstones of a just and compassionate society. It challenges us to look beyond the surface, to see the humanity in every individual regardless of their transgressions. For in the end, we are all but dust, our lives as fleeting as a line drawn in the sand. Let us therefore strive to live with grace and forgiveness, remembering that the measure we use to judge others will be the measure used to judge us. The crown of thorns, a brutal symbol of mockery and pain, has become synonymous with the suffering of Christ. Forced upon his head by Roman soldiers, it represents the cruelty and humiliation inflicted upon him in his final hours. But beyond the physical torment, the crown of thorns holds a deeper, more profound significance. In the ancient world, thorns were often associated with sin and its consequences. The book of Genesis tells us that after Adam and Eve disobeyed God, thorns and thistles sprang up from the ground, a constant reminder of their transgression. By accepting the crown of thorns, Jesus takes upon himself the weight of humanity's sin, the burden of our collective failings. But the thorns also represent something else: sacrifice. In the Old Testament, thorns were often used as fuel for sacrificial fires, consuming offerings made to atone for sin. Jesus, in his willingness to endure the agony of the crown of thorns, becomes the ultimate sacrifice, his blood shed to cleanse us from the stain of our transgressions. The crown of thorns, therefore, becomes a powerful symbol of both our brokenness and our redemption. It reminds us of the cost of sin, the pain it inflicts upon ourselves and others. But it also points to the boundless love of God, a love so profound that he would willingly endure such suffering to set us free. As we contemplate the crown of thorns, let us remember that true leadership is not about power or dominance, but about service and sacrifice. It is about putting the needs of others before our own, even when it means enduring pain and humiliation. For in the words of Jesus himself, greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. The crown of thorns, a symbol of suffering and sacrifice, ultimately points us to the transformative power of love, a love that conquers all, even death itself. Chapter 3. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. These words from Psalm 23, as comforting as a warm embrace, have soothed countless souls throughout the ages. But within this psalm of peace and tranquility lies a curious juxtaposition, the image of the rod and staff. The rod, often associated with discipline and correction, seems at odds with the idyllic imagery of green pastures and quiet waters. But it is in this apparent contradiction that we discover a deeper truth about the nature of God's guidance. You see, the rod in the hands of a loving shepherd is not a tool of punishment but of protection. It is used to ward off predators, to guide the flock along safe paths, to ensure their well-being. Similarly, God, in his infinite wisdom, sometimes uses trials and tribulations to steer us away from danger, to refine our faith, and to draw us closer to him. The staff, on the other hand, represents comfort and support. It is used to gently guide the sheep, to lift them when they stumble, to provide a sense of security. Just as a shepherd cares for his flock, so too does God provide us with comfort and strength in times of need. The rod and staff, therefore, represent the two sides of God's guidance, his unwavering protection and his unfailing love. They remind us that even in the darkest of valleys, we are not alone. God is with us, guiding our steps, providing for our needs, and leading us towards his eternal pastures. As we navigate the complexities of life, let us find comfort in the knowledge that we are never truly alone. God, our shepherd, walks beside us, his rod and staff a constant source of protection and guidance. May we learn to trust in his wisdom, to find solace in his presence, and to embrace the journey, knowing that he is leading us towards a place of abundance and peace. Chapter 4. Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. This enigmatic instruction from the Apostle Paul has sparked much debate and interpretation throughout history. But what does it truly mean to be unequally yoked, and what are the implications for our lives today? In ancient times, a yoke was a wooden harness used to join two oxen together for ploughing. An unequally yoked team, with one ox stronger or more stubborn than the other, would result in chaos and inefficiency. The weaker ox would be dragged along, while the stronger ox would become frustrated and exhausted. Paul, drawing on this agricultural metaphor, warns us against forming close relationships with those who do not share our core values and beliefs. This is not about judging or excluding others, but rather about recognizing the fundamental importance of shared vision and purpose in any meaningful relationship. When two people are unequally yoked in terms of their faith, values, or life goals, it creates friction and disharmony. The relationship becomes a constant source of tension, pulling each person in different directions. This can lead to resentment, compromise, and ultimately, a weakening of one's faith. This principle applies not only to romantic relationships, but also to friendships, business partnerships, and even our involvement in certain communities or organizations. When we surround ourselves with people who share our values and aspirations, it creates a synergy, a sense of shared purpose that empowers us to grow and thrive. Being equally yoked does not mean we must agree on everything. On the contrary, healthy relationships embrace diversity of thought and experience. However, it is essential to have a shared foundation of core values, a mutual respect for each other's beliefs, and a common vision for the future. As we navigate the complexities of relationships, let us seek out those who inspire us to grow, who challenge us to become better versions of ourselves, and who share our commitment to living a life of purpose and meaning. For in the words of the proverb, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Chapter 5. In the parables of Jesus, seemingly simple stories often conceal profound truths. The parable of the mustard seed, found in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, is a prime example. It tells the story of a tiny seed that grows into a surprisingly large plant, becoming a haven for birds. At first glance, this parable might seem like a straightforward lesson about the power of faith. And while this interpretation is valid, there are deeper layers of meaning. The mustard seed, in its initial state, is incredibly small, almost insignificant. Yet, within this tiny package lies the potential for tremendous growth. It is a potent reminder that even the smallest act of faith can blossom into something extraordinary. The parable doesn't end with the seed simply growing into a large plant. It describes how birds come and make nests in its branches. This detail adds a whole new dimension to the story. Birds often represent those who are lost or seeking refuge. The mustard plant becomes a haven for these creatures, offering them shelter. This speaks to the expansive nature of faith, transforming our lives and impacting others. The parable of the mustard seed is about the ripple effect of faith on the world. It encourages us to nurture the seeds of faith within ourselves. Let us cultivate a faith that transforms our hearts and creates spaces of hope for all. As we conclude our exploration of these 5 Bible stories, we are reminded that the Scriptures are not merely a collection of ancient tales, but a living tapestry woven with timeless wisdom and profound insights. Beneath the surface of these familiar narratives lie hidden depths, layers of meaning waiting to be unearthed. By approaching these stories with a spirit of curiosity and a willingness to delve deeper, we unlock a treasure trove of spiritual understanding. We discover that the Bible is not a static text, but a dynamic source of guidance and inspiration, relevant to our lives today as it was to those who first heard its words. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. May these insights inspire you to delve deeper into your own understanding of the Scriptures, to uncover the hidden meanings that resonate with your own life experiences, and to share the transformative power of these stories with others. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content exploring the wonders of the Bible.